Hey, how are you guys?
Good. How are you?
I see a lot of names, but I can't see anyone's face. Can you guys, anyone come in on a video too? All right, so far I see Tabitha and Crystal, Misty and Ashton, and then we've got somebody by phone ending in 3508.
Molly.
Awesome. Glad you joined us. Leslie? Yay. So welcome you guys. Who has something awesome to share from their last week?
I'll share. It's Tabitha.
Okay.
I actually green dotted and got 3 parties between December and January in the last week, so that's always good.
That's awesome. And can you tell everybody, for the new people, what green dotting is?
Where whoever's active on Facebook at that time, I send them a message and just ask them if they'd be interested in booking a party.
Awesome.
Okay.
Awesome. Anyone else want to share something exciting from the last week?
I sold a few more bowls.
Awesome. Yeah. They just keep on coming, huh?
Yeah.
So if you have not done the prep bowl thing on Facebook, our team has had really awesome results with that. And like making them as gifts and sending, getting them ready for people. Another one, which if I could find an example, I'll post it on our team page, or Angela, you might have an example. That's really popular this time of year is the raspberry habanero sauce, and like showing a picture of it just being used over cream cheese and just taking orders for that too. So if you're looking for something new for December, you already did the prep bowls, that one might be a good one for you. Okay, so awesome. And thank you guys for joining us. We have, this week is based on the My Recipe for Success. It's going to be chapter 5, and it's on building your team and recruiting. And so the more interactive, the better on this. But I did want to cover, these calls are geared slightly towards newer consultants, but also for the whole team. So I just got off a call with Anna, and we were talking about the fast track to a director. So if you saw that on our team page, or you looked at it in the My Recipe for Success, anyone who is still in their first 90 days is eligible for this. And it's a $2,000 cash bonus that you can earn as a new consultant for promoting to director in your first 90 days. So you get the first 500 when you promote to director, the next 500 when you keep your director title for 3 months and paid as director, and then the final 1,000 when you promote to advanced director. So our team just had a lot of promotions in November. We're ready to help anyone who wants to promote, regardless of whether you're in your first 90 days or outside of that. Promoting to director gives you free products, it gives you bonuses, it gives you a bigger paycheck. So regardless of whether you're still brand new or not, now is a great time to work towards that. So any questions about that program? And if you want to promote to any new level, make sure you let somebody in your upline know. So, and then, if you want to work with me directly, if you're not directly in my downline, I'm more than happy to work with you too. So let's talk a little bit more about growing your team. Why would you add somebody to your team? Well, the first thing is what's in it for you, and then what's in it for them. So you want to think both things. So what's in it for them? I'm going to just have everybody come on and share a reason they are glad they started Pampered Chef, and a perk that they got out of their business. So it could be anything you want. There's no right or wrong answers. It could be money. It could be products. It could be more of like a feeling thing, like cooking with your kids. But what is a reason, like a perk or benefit that you've gotten from your business? So who wants to go first?
I do.
Awesome.
I initially joined Pampered Chef to learn how to cook, and I stayed in Pampered Chef because of the awesome encouragement that I get from our team. We have an absolutely amazing team, and I also stayed for the trip. So learning about the Hawaii trip, I was not about to.
Are you still there, Leslie? It cut out a little bit. Okay. Who's next?
I'll go next.
Okay. Tabitha?
I joined for the money, and now the perks of it is the products, the money, and the friendships I've made.
I love it. Okay. Misty, what about you?
I joined for the money, but the friendships and the team is amazing, and I'm back in it. I'm 100% for the money now because of yesterday. But I mean, you meet so many people and you make so many friendships, and it helps broaden and grow you as an individual.
Awesome. I love it. Okay. Ashton, what about you?
The free products and all the product perks.
Okay. I love it. Crystal, can you come in at all?
Yeah, I joined for the perks mostly, and then the little bit of extra money that it would bring in to supplement my husband's income.
Awesome. Okay. And Molly, what about you?
So mine's a little different. I already loved the Pampered Chef products, and I already had a lot of them. And I stumbled into my friend's party. I hadn't been to one in a long time. Ordered for her, and like, you know what? The stuff sells itself. I might as well go ahead and sell it too. So that's how I kind of got back into it.
That's awesome. Yeah. No, and like I said, there's no right or wrong. So the reason I'm even having you guys do that is I wanted everyone to hear all the similarities and then all the differences too, because we heard a lot of similar things, but then we heard a lot of individualized things too. So when you're thinking about who should join your team, the first thing I want you guys to think about isn't what's in it for you, because that tends to hold people back, but what's in it for them. And you honestly don't know. Even your best friend or your mom or your sister, you don't always know what something like this could do for them. So, you know, it can be the free products. It can be the extra money. It can be the friendships, the support. It could be the flexibility. It could be a trip or a reward. So there's so many different reasons that people find that Pampered Chef is a good fit. And then what's in it for you? Because I want your first thought to be what's in it for them, so that you don't hold yourself back from thinking, oh, I don't want to be pushy, or oh, they wouldn't be interested, or oh, this. Each one of you guys wouldn't be here if somebody hadn't asked or offered the opportunity. So your job is to offer it and ask everyone every time, no matter what, no matter how much you think they might not be interested. You just offer it and ask. If they say no, that's okay. If they say not right now, that's okay. But some of the yeses really, really surprise you. And some of them come back way, way later on. So we actually just had a girl join this morning. I haven't had a chance to add her to our team page, but we met, I want to say it was 4 or 5 years ago, when she had a party, and I hadn't heard from her in a long time. And I sent out an email with a rock crock cookbook to anyone who had a rock crock, and she messaged back like, hey, you know, tell me more now, like 4 years later. So it's not always an immediate thing, but you want to ask everyone, ask every time, and keep asking unless they've told you no, please don't ask me again. Does that make sense? Any questions about that? So what's in it for you? And that's where it's kind of a multi-layered thing. So you will get a raise and make more when you add people to your team. But obviously that's not the only reason to add people to your team. So I'm going to go over the career plan here in a second, just a brief overview, and show you guys where to find it. But when you add somebody to your team, you also help them make an impact on their life. So sometimes they want something smaller or different than what you want out of your business, but that's okay because you're having an impact on them. And then sometimes you'll have people join your team who want or need more. You know, you might only be in this for some extra product and for some fun, but you may have somebody who joins your team who really needs this income to put food on the table or pay for something like a serious bill that they need to get taken care of. So you want to really have that broad focus on how this could help people, even if it's something different than what you're looking for out of your business. So as a consultant, all of you guys are consultants if you don't have anyone on your team. The first title and bonus and raise is senior consultant. And all you have to do for that is add one person to your team. You get a 1% override on your sales and a 1% override on everything they sell. And then when they qualify, you get, in their first 90 days, you get 30 Pampered Chef dollars. You just both have to be active for that. So you have to submit at least $150 and they have to submit at least $150. The second title is team leader. And I'm going off of this chart, you guys. Let's see if I can get out of the sun here. So this is available to you online, and it's very easy to pull up. And Angela, do you mind posting it later on the team page? Like in the commentary? Awesome. Okay. Team leader is 2 people on your team, and they have to be 2 different people. So they would have to be both signed up by you. It couldn't be that you add somebody and they add somebody, and that's team leader. And that's 2% override on personal sales, 2% on your recruits. So you've just doubled your raise. And then the 30 Pampered Chef dollars. Director is where we just had Amber and Tammy promote to director, and there's even additional perks. So you get a 3% override and the 30 Pampered Chef dollars. Then you start getting a $10 activity bonus per consultant. You get you get free products, you get other bonuses from the company, you get a lot of recognition. And that is 5 people on your personal team. And those people can be under whoever. So like Ashton, you could sign somebody, they would sign their sister, and they all count towards that 5. And then it has to be 750 personal sales that you've personally submitted at least. And as a director, you want to start off strong. So you really want your goal to be not to work to the minimum. And then you need $5,000 in team sales. So that's everybody on your team, every dollar they submit counts towards that. So if you saw us on the last day of the month talking about like needing a couple $100 more for the promotion, that's what that's about. And then the next 2 are advanced director and senior director. And we'll stop there. Beyond that's executive, senior executive, and national. Our team is working toward an executive team, so we are looking for more directors right now. Advanced director just means you have 1 director under you and a total of $12,000 in organizational sales. So that's everybody in the whole organization working towards that. And then senior director is having 3 and 1. So we talked about that at the meeting, and a total of $24,000 in organizational sales. So it just keeps growing from each title. You have to do a little bit more to make the next title. Does that make sense? So you get additional money, additional free product for certain promotions and recognition. So that's what's in it for you. Plus you're helping other people reach their goals and get more out of their life. So we're going to do a few questions and then I'll wrap up with a few more things. Who has some questions? We can't all be quiet the whole call. Who here has talked to somebody about joining their team?
Sorry, running around the house at the same time listening. So I have questions. They're more like setting up the virtual shows, getting the filler for that. More simple questions than I think.
Okay, so I don't know if this is the first call you've come on, Molly. We actually do 5 different topics. So it's all the new stuff for the new consultants. If you've been on another one, you know that. So I can answer those at the very end if we have time, or if you want a private message them to me on Facebook, I can help you with those. That's no problem. So some of the calls would be more focused. I think last week was actually all about virtual parties. So some of them will be more focused on maybe some of these other topics too. So who here, Angela said she's already talked to somebody about joining her team, which she's actually has an awesome team. So what are some things you've learned along the way, Angela? I'm gonna have you come in about how to talk to people, what to say, that kind of thing.
I think the most important thing is to make sure you're finding out how Pampered Chef would help them and what they would want out of it, because some people might not realize they can do just a little bit, and some people that you might not think would want to make a career out of it actually might need more money than you think. And then also, after finding out what's important to them, then finding out what it is they're afraid of that might be holding them back. And so first getting them excited about what they can get out of it and how the company will help them, and then what they're afraid of and why they haven't done it already. So I actually, at a cooking party last night, have a future host that said she had thought for a long time about being a consultant when her kids were younger, and she host a lot of awesome parties, but she was afraid and she never thought she could give it a try. And so I said last night, I said, well, what's different now? Like, why are you even contemplating it at this particular moment? And she said, honestly, she's like, I really, truly, my life has changed, but now I'm just really busy, and I hear I'm really busy, or I hear not enough money, or I hear I'm afraid I won't be good at it the most. And I said, well, tell me what time you do have. And she actually got her calendar out and showed me every single thing, and she is busy, and she was organized enough to know it. And I think I learned from Chantel, some of the busiest people actually are really good at this. So she's still thinking about it for her January party if she wants that to be her grand opening or take the kit credit. But just asking honestly, like, what is it? What are you afraid of?
Awesome. I love it. Okay. Anyone else have something they want to share? So where do you find people to join your team? It's either going to be at your shows, your host of your shows, whether they're virtual or cooking, and then out and about. So if you're a brand new consultant, you can start thinking of people that you know that need one of four things. The first would be the extra money. The second would be the flexibility or fun, because we have people who are really busy who need something really flexible. We have people that have really, more high-powered, demanding jobs, like people who work at hospitals, doctors, lawyers, and they need something just that's a fun outlet. People do this for the free product and the recognition. So you want to have somebody for each category that you can call and say, hey, I don't know if you've ever thought of this, but you came to mind because I know the extra money would be really helpful before Christmas, and I would love to tell you more. Are you interested? It's always a compliment to tell somebody that they came to mind for a true, genuine reason. You're not going to make this up because people will be able to see through fakeness. But when it's a true reason, like I know you needed the extra money, or you just seem like such a fun person and I thought you could use something fun in your life, can I tell you more? Are you interested in me telling you more? That's a compliment. That's not being pushy. Now, at your shows, the first lead is your host. And that's something that we've added almost 100 new people on our team this year. So we're at, I think, 91 as of this morning, and our goal is 100. And a huge percentage of those people have been hosts, and then they signed up from their party. So I wanted to give you guys the word choices on how to do that. So one of our previous calls a couple weeks ago was about host coaching. And you talk about their goals and their wish list. You talk about the host program. And the very key thing to do is then say, have you ever thought of doing something like this? Or have you ever thought of making extra money? And regardless of whether they say yes, no, or maybe, you have them flip to the inside cover of the back of the catalog and relate one of the kits back to their wish list. So it might be, that ultimate kit has the rock crock and the grill pan. That deluxe kit has the rock crock and a piece of stoneware. And if you've ever thought of doing something like this, there's a perk that's exclusive just for hosts. You can take up to $50 of the free product that you earn as a hostess off of any one of these kits. So it makes it a $59 kit up to the biggest kit's only $199. So you want to ask every host, because I can't tell you how many hostesses this year have surprised me because they said no the first time, but by the time the party rolled around, they said yes, they wanted to give it a try. So I think that telling all of your hosts that your hosts are your strongest recruit leads because they already love the products enough to invite their friends to join in a party. So they're your strongest recruit leads. The second thing is to make sure at every party that you're talking about the business opportunity. And even if it's not a big goal of yours to add people to your team right now, at least extend the offer, because you don't know who in the room maybe could really use this this business, whether it's for the income or the recognition or the products. At least offer it. And then if you're not 100% sure where to go from there, when somebody has interest, come to one of us, Angela, Tammy, Amber, or I, and we will help you. And then the last thing, so have something in your show. So your virtual show, it would be a post or going live to tell a little bit about your Pampered Chef business. And at a show, it's talking specifically about the business and the kids and the opportunities. And then I think the other key phrase here is, like Angela was saying, people are afraid to try something new. People are afraid of failure. I think the number one fear we all have on some level is a fear of failure. And that fear of failure holds people back from reaching their potential, their full potential. So I actually talk about that at my shows in a nice way. When somebody's interested in joining my team, or if I'm talking about the business at the end of a party, I'll say, give this a try for 4 to 6 shifts. You can do anything 4 to 6 times. And when you commit to trying it out for 4 to 6 parties and you do that, you've succeeded whether you stick with it longer than that or not. You'll have made $400 to $600. You'll earn about $200 in free product at the end of that. And if you love this business, keep going with it. And if you don't, if it's not a great fit for you, that's okay, because you'll have an awesome kitchen and an awesome paycheck. And then you know it's not a good fit, and that's okay too. And we've had people try this for the 4 shows and then decide it's not a good fit, but that's still a success story for them. That's their success story that they can say, you know what, I got some awesome products. I got a paycheck. I made back my kit money. And that takes some of that fear away from, should I do this? Shouldn't I? Like Angela has this girl that, it's been years? If her kids are little, years and years that her fear has held her back. All she has to do is try it. And if she tries it, more than likely she's going to fall in love with it and keep running with it. That's what most of our team does. But if not, then they know, instead of the constant, man, I wish I had tried it back then, but I couldn't, get past my fear to just try. So I think just talking about ordering a kit, trying it out, doing a few parties, and that's your first success story, lets people give this a try without that fear of a long-term commitment and failing. Because almost no one in this business starts with the thought that they're going to do this for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. Nobody. I had no clue that I would be here 12 and a half years later. So take that long-term, oh my gosh, 12 years out of their thought process and just make it a try thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I was only going to do those first couple parties.
Yeah, and most people start with it, with just that short-term goal. People need that short-term goal to give themselves permission to give this a try. So, and we've got about 5 more minutes. So, any questions? There's one other thing I can share, but I want you guys to get the questions and feedback that you want out of this call. Okay. Why would you add somebody to your team this month? Well, there's several reasons. December is usually one of our really good team building months. If you do not know what the bonuses are for this month, look them up. You can look them up in the app. I don't have the picture handy to hold it up right now. But you can actually earn, or your new consultants can earn the rectangular baker set for free when they qualify in their first 60 days. Which that's the second half of the bonus. So it's actually 2 bonuses, and we very rarely do more than 1 for new consultants. So let me see. I can pull it up in the app. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but December new consultants. You can find this in the app under news, and they get this rectangular baker set for free. So hopefully you can at least see it clearly enough to know what I'm talking about. And that is $125 worth of stoneware when they qualify in their first 60 days. But the second half of that bonus is they get an extended new consultant bonus period. So typically when you start, you have 90 days to earn rewards. If you sign your consultant agreement in December, you have 120 days to earn rewards. That is huge. Now, the new consultants don't completely understand why that's huge, so you don't want to overwhelm them. But Molly, you might be the newest person on our team, so you're still in your 90 days, aren't you? You're still in your 30, I think. I might have lost.
Yeah, I'm still in my. Yeah,
Yes.
I'm in the 30 till the.
Okay, so just imagine you're still in your 30, you're working on qualifying, you've still got 90 days, but imagine if you had 120 days, how that would feel.
I know, I would love to have that extra 30 days.
Okay, so that's why this month is such a good month for people to start. I just had a girl last night tell me, I'm still thinking about Paper Chef. I might do it in January or February. Work will be a little less crazy, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, you know what? If you're thinking about it, let's talk between Christmas and New Year. Because if you buy your kit then, you have 120 days. Where if she buys it on January 3rd, she has 90 days. That's 30-day difference. So don't overwhelm them with that. Just say it's an extra 30 days. It makes a really big difference on how strong you get started. And new consultants that start in December usually do really well. So we want to tell people what the perks are doing this now instead of waiting till the new year. Because a lot of people are like, I'll start something new in the new year. And it's like, no, start it in December and we'll get the ball rolling in the new year. We'll get that up and running in the new year.
And they'll have longer to fast track.
Yes, they get an extra 30 days to fast track because of it too. So again, I wouldn't go into all those details with them. Then you're telling them too much and you're, overwhelming them. But I would just let them know, that's a big deal. We only usually do this once a year. The other thing is I have several people that I'm following back up with that were interested, but they didn't have money for the kit. And some of them are asking for the kit as their Christmas gift, or some people get cash for Christmas and they can turn around and buy their kit with that money that they were gifted from a grandma or a family member. And I also had a couple people who were talking to their daughter or daughter-in-laws about how this might be a good fit for them. So I think it's a good idea. I'm going to follow up with them too, because again, if they're getting, that person might help them with the kit for the holidays or whatever. So, think of those people that this could really benefit for all the different reasons. When they start in December, they have a whole calendar year to earn next year's trip too. So if the trip is a big deal for them, get their kit ordered now, and then they have a year. They can go with us to Scottsdale or to Hawaii. Any questions?
I have a question.
Okay, awesome.
It is actually for you.
Sure.
And it is, do you have a recruiting goal that you set every month, or did you have one prior to now?
I have goals every month with my business, and then I have yearly goals with my business too. So my original goal is typically to at least, depending on what my numbers were in the past, is to always at least hit what I did the previous year or to grow from those numbers. So for recruiting last year, my goal was, I believe, 24. My goal was to have 2 new consultants and every month. That was I think I ended up with 25 by the end of the year, but it wasn't consistent. Like there were some months I did more and some months that I had less. And then this year, I believe I've added new team members every single month. And my original goal, I honestly don't remember what it was because I've surpassed it by quite a bit. So my goal by the end of this year is to have added personally 45 to 50 new team members. I know I can hit the 45, the 50 would be a stretch. So yeah, so my goals, you want to change your goals and increase them if you pass your original goal. So good question. Any other questions? Okay. Well, I think we're right at the 30-minute mark. So thank you for.
Wait, I have one more reason that you should be excited to add someone to your team for them. And you don't have to tell them all this, but if someone's really driven by the products, then if they start in December, even if they don't have their first shows till January, they would get free-for-all products.
Yes, awesome.
In addition to like their Pampered Chef dollars. So they could get new products before they're even released to the public.
Awesome. Yep. I think that's another great reason. Well, you guys have a great day. I'm going to end the recording.